That's Times Square, but we're here with Ralph Macchio, for so many always known as the Karate Kid, but now he's out with a new book called Waxing On. Welcome back. First, at the top of the 8 o'clock hour, we're trying to figure, so wax on, wax off. Explain it again.
Explain it? Well, it's a Okinawan technique of blocking and blocking, you know? So I can say, yeah, I still have that.
Yeah.
Look at that. No, who knew the day I read that 39 years ago that I'd be here opening the segment with that. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm proud.
Is it true that when you first saw the title, you didn't like the title Karate Kid?
I did not. I thought I was like, I knew it was a film that was going to be directed by the guy who directed Rocky, John G. Avildsen, and it was called The Karate Kid. I was like, it sounded like an after-school special. They were big back in the day, and it sounded kind of like hokey and kind of cheesy, and maybe it was foreshadowing that I somehow knew that maybe I would be carrying it for the rest of my life. But you know, and Jerry Weintraub, our producer of The Karate Kid, said it's a terrible title, which makes it a great title, and I guess that kind of makes
sense.
It does, and now with Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
I mean, your character is reborn.
It's incredibly unique and beyond. It's impossible to explain that feeling of having something. You know, how many movies have given birth to a streaming series that's so big and multi-generational and still ties into the themes. It's just beyond. It's really incredible and awesome.
You said multi-generational there, but your kids, did they ever get into Karate Kid?
My kids, well, I think, yeah, there was a time when they realized our dad's not like all the other dads. Why are people standing on one leg putting their arms up? What does that mean? No, but my favorite story, and this is what's so wonderful about the Cobra Kai series now, because my kids that are now young adults champion the show, and they watch it with their friends, and they're experiencing the whole thing.
Hasn't she been
Yes,
on it?
my daughter Julia was in the show. She played cousin Nessa, who was questioning my parenting skills, which the writers' room had a great job, a great time doing that. But it's so fun because I talk about my son when he was about 5 years old. My mom must have sent over a bin full of teen magazines of whatever from back in the day, and he comes in the house, you know, not knowing what's going on. He's like, "Wait, Dad was huge, and we missed it." And this is like, you know, 1990, whatever it was, maybe 2000 or so, and when I was in my lean years, and now Dad is quasi-huge, and they're seeing it. So I write to some of that.
Oh, I can relate to that part of it. Hilary Swank was here a week ago. She's waiting for a call.
Yeah, well, listen, that's the big question. We have Cobra Kai has not officially been picked up for season 6. We are, if there's some wood somewhere, we're confident. And she is one of the characters in the Miyagi verse that has yet graced the Cobra Kai sound stages. So we shall see. You know, I don't know. I think once we get a green light, maybe the writers will try to figure that out, because we've had such great guest stars come back from the original film, and the fans just love it.
To the book here for a second. Pat Morita, who played the original Mr. Miyagi you just mentioned there. You tell a story that he almost didn't get the gig. He wasn't necessarily the guy.
Yeah, no, nobody wanted Arnold from Happy Days as Mr. Miyagi, you know, and myself included. At the time, I was like, really? He's like, you know, it was written as sort of, I mean, it was humor in the Miyagi role, but they were talking to Shiro Mifune and all these, you know, Akira Sawasawa type actors, Seventh Samurai, if you will, and in comes Pat Morita. John Avildsen, the director, and the casting director said, "You have to see this guy," and they're like, "No, no, no." And I walk in that room, I met him. It was like that, just magic, and it still resonates. And I write about it in the book, and certainly on Cobra Kai, that character lives on. You know, he's a big part of it.
It's beautiful how you wrote about him.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
You talked about the director, John Avildsen. He put together a audition tape from how do the creators make sure this chemistry still lasts? That's
great to see. That's the first time I ever read the dialogue of Daniel. There I am. I'm at Tom Petty sweatshirt and a members only jacket. I don't know why. If I had a mullet, it would be the poster child of the 80s.
How old are you right there?
I was probably 21.
This is
Don't tell
21?
anybody. and Pat was his first time reading that. We hadn't met at that point, but he cut it together, and you could see that chemistry coming through the monitor even then. There's certain castings that are just right, and that was one of them.
So what is next? I mean, you go back to the 80s with Karate Kid. You have this book out, Cobra Kai. So what's next?
Well, it's fortunately quite busy, looking at all different stuff, unscripted, other scripted things. I was on this show called The Deuce that was really cool for HBO, which was sort of a gritty look at the 70s and 80s in New York City, and I enjoyed playing a crooked cop. So maybe there'll be kind of fun places to go. If not, I'm just enjoying and embracing
That's the
all
New Yorker
of this
in
and
you.
getting to share my stories from walking in these shoes for almost 40 years.
Wow.
Crazy.
And everybody can read the story now. Waxing On is the new memoir, The Karate Kid and Me. It's available tomorrow. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, guys. Love being here.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.